freeway from Flint, Michigan. It was a train town, very similar to Lake County except in that aspect, as some of you will know, we had no train. However, it was very much built on, at the same period, right around the 1860s. So I came here after high school, graduating high school in 2007. I came to the Bay Area. I attended Holy Names University. It wasn't quite my scene, so I decided to go back to Michigan for a little while, and I traveled for the next 5 or so years until I landed back in the Bay Area again, and I worked as a nanny there for 4 years. And then I recently came up here, I think it was August of 2015, I moved to Lake County. It's very similar to where I grew up, so I find it funny. I seem to blend right in eventually. As we know, August 2015 was right before the Valley Fire in September of 2015. I live in the Cobb Mountain area, so we were evacuated. We are very lucky and blessed to have not lost our house, but we do feel for our community. We know many people who did. That really lit a fire in me and my passion to serve my community, to serve this community, and to start becoming more involved in what was going on. People were so exposed and open at that time, and I was so new, but felt like it was a bonding experience for anybody who had been a part of that. Right around that time, I learned about the Pioneer Cemetery, actually, the Copsey Cemetery in Lower Lake. Always being interested in history, I decided to sort of follow that trail of breadcrumbs and find out who else was interested in this sort of work. And I heard about the Lake County Historical Society. I thought, as I think many people do, that you guys were attached to the museums. And so I called the museum, asking how to get involved with the cemetery. I got Tony Perucci and Whitney Petrie on the phone, and they both asked me to come on down here and offered me an internship, a volunteer work internship, working for them here at the museum. Sounded like a dream, and so I started. One of the first things they had me doing was going through the old photographs, which was just, like I said, a dream job, you know, to be able to sort through those kinds of things. In turn, I began to learn a lot about Lake County history, almost as an aside. You know, it wasn't my intent, but before you knew it, I could answer a lot of questions. I still have many more questions that I need answered, but it ended up becoming a real passion of mine. And so I was hired by the museums in, I believe, January or February of last year, so I've been officially a county employee for a year now. And I've been loving it, and I fully intend on using my education in Lake County and continuing my work here in the museums, and I absolutely love it. So that's the past, and it sort of brings us into the present, which is, I am not yet, on the poster it said I was a candidate for a master's in archival. I'm not yet a candidate, but that is my plan too. I'm working on getting a bachelor's in American history with a minor in art history. It'll keep my options open in the museum world. Then I would like to pursue my master's in archival studies, which will allow me to work in some curator positions, as well as working with the old stuff, which is what I call it, which is my favorite thing to do, of course. So here I am working at the museums, and what are we doing here is the real question. And how do we move forward into this modern world while still preserving the charm of Lake County, the charm of all the towns and the cities around the lake? So, as you know, we have a couple of new exhibits up. This one behind you, I don't know if everybody's gotten a chance to see it, I hope you do, before you leave today, is our exhibit, Some Gave All, a tribute to local law enforcement. This was actually the dream child of one of our curatorial staff, Jessica Sagone.